But the big thing for the heart is, first of all, know the blessings that you've got. And then secondly, how do you respond to the gifts that the infinite gift giver has given your sister and your brother and your mother and your father and your aunt and your cousin and other people? Because that is critical. That is absolutely critical. And of course, our hearts respond in different ways, and some are more perfect than others. And maybe we're not extremely happy about that. And maybe we don't care. But this is the touchstone. This is the key thing. When you know that your sister was given a gift that you were not given, does that make you happy or not? If it makes you happy, then you have a good heart. Okay, if it doesn't make you happy, then you've got to work on that. Who gave the gift? Allah. And He gave that gift in wisdom. And He gave that gift in infinite bounty. And everybody gets something different. You know, whatever you got, inwardly and outwardly, is uniquely your own. Whatever they got, you can probably only see the outward anyway. You don't know what the inward is, but you have to welcome that. When you look at all your brothers, you look at all your sisters, you look at even nations on earth, be happy that God gave them what He gave them. And beware of the heart that is not happy with that, because that is a heart which may not be sick. We have so many gradations, but it is not where it ought to be. These are really important things. And when Allah takes away a gift that He gave, so you know somebody who was healthy and active, and God forbid, now they're not healthy anymore, they're not active anymore. So how does your heart respond to that? Are you sad? That's good. That's good, because that means, inshallah, you've got a good heart. Are you happy? Even though you wouldn't say it to anybody, but you actually find this joy in your heart, you know, that, look at him now. Okay, that is very, very dangerous. And this is natural for us. Brothers and sisters in a family have natural rivalries. You know, I want my mother's love, and so does my sister, and so does my brother. Who do you love the most? I want my father's attention and his love, but so does my sister, and so does my brother. And mothers and fathers also respond differently to their children, because it may be that the baby of the family is the apple of their eyes, and it may be that someone else is. And the Prophet taught us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, be wise. You know, try to show fairness to all of your children. Try not to show that you love this one more, although this is always what happens to us. Jacob loved Joseph more than he loved Benjamin, and he loved Benjamin more than he loved Lawi and Ra'ubin and Issachar and the other brothers. And they knew that. And that was very hard for them to take. And if Jacob were your father, it would be very hard for you to take too. So brothers and sisters, we always have rivalries, and maybe they never go away in your whole lifetime. That always in his or her heart is that your mother loved you more than me. Your father always had a special place for you that he didn't have for me. We have teachers. We have other people, elders. We have people we want to be near to. We want to serve. We want to be accepted. And then what about him? He also wants to be near. He also wants to be near. She also wants, and so then also we would like something to happen that would put them away so that I can have the sheikh's attention. I can have the teacher's first spot. Okay, and these are things we have to be really careful about. A woman may be very beautiful. Okay, and what happens when all of a sudden another woman comes into the gathering who is more beautiful than she? That may not be easy to take. A man may be gifted, or a woman, with great knowledge. Okay, and what happens when somebody comes into our community who has so much knowledge, more knowledge than we? Thank God. You take someone like Sheikh Muhammad al-Yaqubi, may Allah bless and protect him. Who is his peer in knowledge? I'm not in any way. Okay, so isn't it something to rejoice over that we have somebody like him? Of course it is. And may Allah enable us to do that sincerely. These are the critical things of the heart. And this is why, watch your heart and look at how you respond. And every time that you see that somebody was given something that you were not given, you be happy about that. You make yourself happy about that. And if you don't feel happiness, well, you are the son or the daughter of Adam. This is one of our problems. We are natural rivals. Okay? But if you don't have khuluq, if you don't have a character trait, you can get it. But you have to work on it. Okay, this is one of the amazing things about character. Character is what is easy for you to do. That's what we call character. That's your khuluq. So, for example, there are people right here that, sometimes we've known for years, and you know that this particular brother or sister, they have a certain character trait. In other words, like they would, if you ask them to help you, they'd never turn you down. If they meet you, they're going to always smile. Okay, those are character traits. Character traits are things that come easy. There are other people who it would be difficult for them to smile. And it would be difficult for them to help. Okay, and you can say, well, one's a better character trait than the other. It's true. But if you have the bad character trait, then you work on it. And then you can change it. Because this is one of the amazing things about character, that if you, for example, don't feel happy that somebody else got the job you wanted, what if he got to marry the woman you wanted to marry? Or if she got to marry the husband you wanted to marry, right? How are you going to swallow that? You've got to. Did this happen by Allah's will or not? Was it Allah's wisdom or not? Are you going to go to war with Allah and His maqadir? You want to go to war against the destiny of God and the decree of God? Now, who would be such a fool? But that's exactly what we're doing. When we look at the blessings that other people have and we don't welcome those blessings and we are not happy about them, then we're not happy about Allah's decree. We don't agree on His wisdom. And you don't want to go back to Allah like that. That's not a sane heart. That's not a healthy heart. Allah gives freely, as He gave to you freely. And He gives degrees to each of us, some over others. لا تتمنوا ما فضل الله بعضكم على بعض. Do not covet that by which God has made some of you more excellent than others. If we look at scholars, many of them are much more excellent, than ourselves or anyone we could imagine. Right? So be thankful for that. Don't find that burdensome on your heart. And this pertains to everything. She got children and maybe you didn't get children. All of these things we have to accept with happiness. Okay, and again, when the opposite occurs and people are not given the thing that you were given, you don't want it to be taken away. And if it is taken away, watch your heart. And again, you pay attention to your heart, because your heart now will tell you who you are, and you need to know that now, not tomorrow. And so this person who was so great and so wonderful, did so many things, has now met with bad times. Things have gone downhill. Maybe he or she became senile towards the end of their life. Okay, are you happy about that? God forbid. And you have to be honest with yourself. You should be sad about that. And if you're not, make yourself sad about that. Because that's the character that you want to have. And again, this is lesson number 1. This is the big one. You know, you see the bounties on you. Be thankful for them. And Allah will make them continue, and He will increase them. And if He takes away the blessing that He gave you, you accept that. You are my Lord. You are my Lord. You do with me whatever you want. This is your mulk. I owe nothing. I own nothing. I have nothing. You gave me everything I have, and you will take it away if you will. I accept that. I accept that. Okay, and then that's not so hard, even though that's very hard. But then all of the other people, you know, he is smarter than I am. He knows more than I do. She knows more than I do. She is wiser than I am. So how do I deal with that? And again, as you know, most of us don't deal with that very well. We don't. And it manifests itself in rivalries. It manifests itself in other things. And the worst thing that can possibly come out of that is hasad, envy, in its different ways, and it destroys. Envy consumes good deeds like fire consumes wood. Okay, so we ask Allah to let us be people who watch our hearts, and people who care about our hearts, and people who purify our hearts. And once your heart is like that, ta'leef it goes without question, because there's nothing to stand in the way.